Hey man, hold on. I gotta make sure the light right.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy King Bear. Hey, make sure you guys check out the Match My Energy podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Sir, yes,
That's
sir.
the Match My Energy podcast. Make sure you check it out.
Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying?
That's magic right there.
Yeah,
oh
it's
my
magic.
God.
It's only going up from here. Trust and believe that.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. I appreciate you, man.
What?
Put out an ad or something for Gal, like you know.
Put on the ad is crazy.
Y'all can do that too. I'm actually going out and talking.
Yeah, but still, like you're already doing the marketing, so you know.
That's great. Y'all can do it too.
Yes, but not as well as you can.
Wait, so Rayshawn, what were you saying though when you were asking him about the Spider-Man thing?
Oh,
Point is,
tired, man.
point is, Randy. Real Marvel fans know where it's going, where the MCU.
It doesn't matter where it's going. It's that who's coming with you.
That's fine, but people are gonna stop.
But if the whole thing doesn't make money, no, it's not going to continue.
It's going to.
Did you know that they don't have enough money to make a World War Hulk movie right now? Marvel has lost a lot of money based on the movies that they put out in the past.
Well,
they never got returns.
Like what? Like which movie?
We already had this conversation about the Marvels.
Okay, the Marvels. Okay, fine, cool. Those recent.
Okay.
It was like what? Like 2 movies? Cool.
The movie was $500 million and didn't even make back half. They lost so much money.
But it's fine. There's no movies that are gonna be perfect. There's no studio that has perfect movies.
That's not my point. My point is that look at the money that they've made and look at the money that they've lost.
Okay, Transformers. You liked every Transformers, right?
I didn't like Transformers that much. I ain't gonna hold you.
Wow.
I'm dead ass. A lot of those movies were shit.
Whoa.
Sorry, not sorry.
Rayshawn, do you like Transformers?
I like a lot of shit, but I'm different. I like a lot of shit.
I know. What did you like the Transformers, like the movie?
Yeah.
They were good. What are you talking about?
How much money do they all make?
They made good money, except for the last one didn't make good money.
They don't put out consistent movies though. They're all over with their universe. They change up the designs. They don't know what they're doing.
But what was your point of bringing them up?
My point of bringing them up is that was an amazing series. First of all, amazing build-up. And the last movie, even though it tied into a little backstory of Transformers, it didn't do as much. And it happens. It happens. But the point that I'm making is that whether the MCU continues what they were doing from the beginning, it was gonna fall off anyways because people were tired of the long run. They loved it. The only reason why they loved the beginning series from Winter Soldier all the way up to Endgame was because those characters were already made. They all had their own established movies before it became one as a team. All those characters, Hulk, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, they all had their own shows before the team come together. So people fell in love with those characters because they already had their own movies. So for them to get back that new audience, they're going to have to do that for new characters. And people are not going to like it if they don't know.
Get on camera, Andy. What are you doing?
I don't want to eat while I'm on the camera.
Read the content.
Like, am I wrong? I think I'm wrong.
I mean, I hear you, but like, I don't know. Like, there's valid points.
Keyshawn, you're running from the problem, and I don't like how you like to run from problems.
In a sense, I feel like, because like, there's valid points you're making, but like, ultimately it comes down to like, it's not necessarily all the fact that they had shows beforehand. It does help, yes, but like...
No, not shows. They had their own
shows,
individual
movies, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, like, because mind you, everything derived from the comics anyway.
Yeah, derived from the comics,
So it's like, I can kind of hear it, but at the same time, it's like, Madam Web is kind of like its own movie, isn't it?
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, Sony's always fucking up shit because they're coming out with these movies that are just doo-doo butter.
But I'm saying, like, it's its own movie, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Keyshawn, I want you to understand, like, what you explained applies to Madam Web. Madam Web could have been good. Let me make that clear. Regardless if there's a cameo or not, Madam Web could have been good. Problem is, first of all, the stars that they bring in, right? You bring in Sydney Sweeney, the most popular girl in Hollywood currently. Yes, because of her big rotted titties.
Sydney Sweet, wait. She had titties? The Madam Web woman?
You showing her?
The lead character, Madam Web.
No. Show him who she looks like.
Sydney
Because
I don't know.
what she understand, her role in Euphoria, her breakout role in Euphoria really solidified her as a star people want, right? But you gotta market her as is. They did not do that for her because of the people that worked on the movie, Madam Web. They portrayed her in a way she should never have been. On top of that, Sydney Sweeney, when she was on SNL, she dissed Madam Web, the movie.
I think
She dissed the movie that she was in.
I think to be honest, I think Sony just fell off. Cause look, take this in. The original Spider-Man and Hulk movies that you talk about that you love were made by Sony.
Okay. What's your point?
So,
Sony, that means you're just telling me that Sony knew what to do. Now they don't want to do that no more.
exactly, because they don't want to do that because the MCU's
But why?
Because they want
But
more,
why?
They want more money from the MCU. They want more money.
No. Why?
Yeah.
Why did they make the movie the way they did?
I don't know what they did. I don't know.
Why did they make the movie how they did? Because that relates back to my point about how they keep throwing propaganda in these movies, trying to bring in an audience where the audience doesn't even care
Well, that's Sony.
about that shit.
That's Sony. Hold on.
It's not just Sony. This goes for any movie that came out currently because when you think about it, who's really going to movies nowadays? Nobody really goes to movies nowadays. Movie sales have been down for a couple years now. Nobody cares about movies. And they continue to pump this garbage into the movies thinking that you can reach a crowd where that crowd doesn't even care about the shit that comes out. So why you continue to market to this crowd?
I don't know.
Is my question.
I mean, I don't know. Like Eternals, for example, I love that movie. I don't care.
That's great. Nobody cared about them. And that's unfortunate because the story was actually decent.
Exactly. Nobody cared about them because nobody knew who they were.
But the problem is that you just threw in a new team.
Yeah.
No build up, nothing. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. See, real fans know that the MCU.
But it's not about real fans.
No, but look how much movies that they're throwing out there, random movies. It's building up. What happened? Galactus is being introduced in Fantastic Four.
Ain't nobody gonna know who that is.
Everybody knows who Galactus is from Fantastic Four movies.
Who's Galactus?
Yes.
Is he? Everyone knows who Galactus is.
I'm tired. No,
Everyone knows who Galactus is.
Everyone knows
But
who Galactus is.
He's the nigga with the moose thing, right?
Yeah. That's great.
Everybody knows who Galactus is from the first Fantastic Four movies. And Galactus is gonna.
He wasn't in the first Fantastic Four movies.
He was in the first Fantastic Four movies.
He was not in the first Fantastic Four movies.
Yes, he was.
And
He was just introduced as
the first one?
Huh?
Wasn't he the first?
No. The first one was Doctor Doom.
Was Doctor Doom? Yes.
The second one was the Silver Surfer. They didn't even show Galactus' face.
No, they didn't. They showed it as a black
cloud.
Yes, because
so ain't nobody gonna know who that is.
Well, people when they lay tell it Galactus are gonna know Galactus. That's it. They only showed a black cloud because of.
To be fair, if they're only showing the black cloud, if you don't know Fantastic Four like that, then like, you're not gonna know.
Yeah, of course, but they had to show the black cloud because of copyright with the MCU because the MCU comics own what Galactus looks like. So
you sure it was copyright?
Yeah, they couldn't put the face in.
But they already put Silver Surfer in there.
Silver Surfer
and the Fantastic Four team, and on all the continuity with Fantastic Four. You sure it wasn't budget?
Yeah, I'm positive.
You sure it wasn't budget?
I'm positive because here's the thing.
That sounds like a budget problem.
Budget problem? They were. What do you mean? They were striving. They had Spider-Man 1, 2, 3 that did all amazing numbers. They had Hulk 1 and 2 that did all amazing numbers.
Okay, but
they were money was not it. Money was not.
And that came out in a time where a lot of the characters didn't look exactly how they were supposed to look.
But Fantastic Four still came out at the same time as those Spider-Man and Hulk movies.
No, that's completely fair, but that time period where those Marvel movies were coming out, none of the characters were really perfect. Let me say villains were really perfect. Doctor Doom is one of them.
Of course.
Right? They could have done something for Galactus instead of make the man a big friggin' cloud. It sounds like a budget problem. It doesn't sound like copyright.
But they would have to make up their own design for it.
Then they could have done that, but they probably ran out of time, or they just never had the budget to do it. Because think about it, Galactus would have been a CGI,
CGI
character, right?
Remember not only does other brands own copyrights, but even the comics own copyrights. So even if they were to try, sometimes some movies, when they try to take characters from the comics, they have to make them in a completely different way because the comics owns claims to them. So Galactus is one of those characters that came from the comics. That also was, I believe that it was owned by Fox. I believe. I'm not too sure. But I believe Galactus was owned by Fox. And the MCU bought over Fox, so the MCU can introduce Galactus. Sony cannot introduce Galactus the way that the MCU can, unless Sony does a deal with the MCU. So, I don't know.
All I know is that what your claims are and your argument is not the case, bro.
Is that MC was not going to strive. It was not going to strive even if they continue.
It can. They just didn't put in they gave up.
But people don't want to, like you said with your point, people are not going to the movies anymore, right? After the end
Give them a reason. Okay, yeah, cool.
But even if they're not going to the movies anymore, aren't they just doing streaming now?
They're just doing streaming.
Streaming, yeah, that's cool, but like,
So they're still watching the movie.
the most money you would make is from a movie.
Of course.
Right? It's not streaming. Streaming, you'll make some numbers. You're not going to make the kind of money that you'll make from movies. Marvel already proved that point by making $1 billion off of one movie.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to get $1 billion off of one movie?
Of course. Well,
And they did that about 4 or 5 times?
More than that. I swear more than that.
So what are we talking about?
I swear more than that.
Like, keep it a band.
Like, I don't know. I just think that right now, the way the direction's going...
You have to give them a reason why to go to the movies. That's what the movie experience is.
I know.
Then what would you suggest that is? Because, like, think about it. If you're saying that they have to be given a reason to go to the movies, right? You won't really know what the reason you really, like, I guess that proverbial reason, or as, like, that real wow factor of going to the movie until you've seen that movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can only really determine if it was worth it after the fact. So, like, what would you suggest that people could do to kind of give people more of that, like, want and thrill to go to a movie in terms of just seeing the trailers?
You gotta give them, okay, first, like, for an example of how a movie, like, to bring people into movies is probably, like, the best example I would say is, like, Civil War. Captain America Civil War, right? That whole movie was, like, it was fan servicey for the fans that actually cared about it, right? But it was so good, it brought in people that wanted to know what was going on.
So, what would you say was the determining factor for it to have brought in people?
Well, first,
like,
like,
just the fact, like, and is it from and speak from a standpoint of, like, it's either out to be out or out already.
so this is at the standpoint of it's coming out, right?
Okay.
Based on the trailers that they put out. First, Black Panther's in there. And Black Panther looked good. On top of that, you never really had Black Panther in movies, live action. That's one. Spider-Man. Finally in the MCU with the other characters. Never done yet. That's 2. Everyone fighting at the airport. That's 3. And that was a good fight too, because that went on for about, like, what, 15 minutes? Around 10, 15 minutes? Things like that brings in people. You gotta...
But what you just listed off characters that everybody known about from way before. And that
I understand that, but this comes back to my point now where, like, you have to give people a reason why you should care about these characters. You gotta structure everything different now. When you bring in characters that only fans know, you gotta structure it in a way where actual regular people, like me, because I'm not a Marvel fan.
Yeah.
I jump in. All I do is that when it comes to movies that are, like, a Marvel movie that's cool, I go on YouTube, I go search up one of the comic book nerd guys, and I watch a video before I go to the movie. That's all I do, because I don't know shit.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a fan on the outside, trying to tell y'all, the fans on the inside, how fans on the outside operate, and you're not listening.
Well, I mean, the fans on the outside are gonna they already said they're gonna stop watching Marvel movies because it's been going on.
Yeah, and I'm one of them, because look at the shit they put out.
Exactly. So, but the thing is, that as a studio standpoint, they know that that the outside fans for the MCU up to Endgame, those fans are going to fall off because of how long it's gone. So what they're doing now, right now, they're focusing on fan service because now they're bringing in the X-Men. So all from that whole base of the X-Men, those fan base is coming in there. They're gonna replace the outside fans. Like they don't care about the outside fans anymore because we're getting a whole new fan base from the X-Men universe inside. For the first time, X-Men and the Avengers MCU are gonna be in movies. Introduced with Namor. The first time in history that they're combined. We're getting a new fan base. Okay, the people who watched from the first Captain America, cool. They want to leave, fine, cool, whatever. We don't care. We got a whole new fan base coming in. The Mutants was a big fan base back in the days, and they're still pretty big. So they're gonna make their money one way or the other. Right now it's just slow because now they're doing the combined movies to add those characters in. But once those characters come in from the X-Men universe, MCU's not worried. They're not stressed. They're fine.
So why didn't they do that from the start?
They can't do it because it takes time. You can't just throw in characters like Namor. Like it took a long time to build up for even Namor to be inside Black Panther. Cause remember, it's
terrible introduction.
I know. I'm not gonna lie because I'm a fan of it. You know how big of a fan of mutants I am. I was pissed off. I was happy. I wasn't too mad. The only thing that I'm mad about when it comes to the mutants coming into the universe is that the MCU is gonna depower them. It's gonna piss me off.
Everyone's been depowered.
Because so what MCU does, this is what MCU beats DC on. DC, they overpower their characters. Like Superman, they make Superman look like he's like some super. Don't get me, he's strong from the comics, but he gets slapped up by a lot of characters, right? But they overpowered him. They overpowered Wonder Woman. They overpowered Flash. All these people, having them do unrealistic ability and powers that like people like cannot really relate to, and that's why people like Batman over all the other characters because they're like more relatable. So what the MCU does is they lower down. For example, Thor. Thor in the comics, different monster. Thor in the MCU, he's weaker, and they had to make him look weaker so that fans could understand it more, right? So just like for example, you remember Dark Phoenix, the last Dark Phoenix? I don't know if you see. Okay.
Of course not, bro. Come on.
Now that movie.
Respectfully.
Yeah. That last movie, I found it amazing, but fans didn't like it because of all the Jean Grey was just making people erase, like boom, boom, boom. People don't want to see powers that they can't explain. Okay, they get instant erase. Cool. They don't want to see that. They want to relate to something that's more realistic. So what they did with Namor.
You kind of described the fans that did not like the Marvels, because that's what fans were saying.
About the overpowered?
They overpowered the Marvels.
But they weren't overpowered.
They actually were. When you think about it, all the fights they got into, not one of them, first of all, got cut, started bleeding, nothing. All the fights they were in, unscratched.
I mean, fair, yeah.
Meanwhile, you have Captain America bleeding from every part. The man's arm was cut open in Endgame. Friggin' Iron Man, the man got beat up in his armor, always bruised and bloody all the time.
Yeah.
Black Widow, Hawkeye.
Yeah, because
Hulk bled green blood, fam.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? You just described the Marvels and why people don't like the Marvels.
Yeah, because, okay, sure, power, but at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. Now that the X-Men are coming into the MCU, their powers, the fans are going to love.
They want it to be believable.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason why people are going to really love the X-Men is because, it's coming mainly with, the Deadpool shit.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be, an interesting crossover. And people already have, a deep affinity for Deadpool and such. So, when they start bringing in Wolverine and then see different things that they can do and, all how the X-Men can tie into the universe, that will be that wow factor from, the beforehand in terms of, trailers and such that'll, bring people in. But in terms of, how impactful the movie will be and, where they kind of take it going forward, that obviously will remain to be seen. I feel like that'll be that factor to make people want to kind of go to the movies again.
Yeah, it will. It's definitely gonna bring it back for sure. I'm telling you, the people who are fans of the mutants are gonna jump into that because there's so many storylines that they could go around. Like for example, Doctor Doom for Secret Wars. Doctor Doom doesn't come from the MCU. He comes from the X-Men universe. The Fantastic Four are from the X-Men the mutant universe. So it's it's gonna do amazing. it's gonna do.
Yeah,
amazing.
now.
Potentially.
No, but look at the things that they put out before.
Yeah, but look how hyped the. Do you
But
know?
in terms of what though?
From the TV shows prior, Secret Invasion's Echo. I know there's one more.
Yeah, but those are those are MCU.
The Marvels.
Yeah.
Madam Web.
MCU just
Keep it a band. These are all Marvel characters, whether it's one studio or another. Okay?
We don't claim.
You gotta nurture your movies. They did not nurture their movies.
Note to self: we don't claim Madam Web. From the comics, we claim her. From the movies, we don't claim her.
Madam Web have the biggest potential to be a really good movie, and they just flopped in every way.
It's because Sony was trying to do their own.
Sony hired a bunch of women directors, a bunch of women actors, and thought that they could market to a bunch of women. Let's keep it a buck. They keep it a band. Like, I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful in any kind of way. Well, who really wants to see that?
That is true though, because it's like, you know, they kind of needed something apart from like the Marvels and such. I didn't see the Marvels, like the spin-off shows or anything like that. I haven't watched a single one of them. But like,
mind you, I never watched the Marvels.
I've never seen a single one of these spin-offs or anything. I've heard about them, but like in terms of all of that, like it kind of made sense because I'm like, once Miss Marvel and like all those other things come out, especially with determining how they're moving forward with Black Panther as well. You know, it kind of made sense for them to go in the direction of having more women kind of shown as like a superpower thing. You know,
which
like
is fine.
Obviously, it's fine. But like, I'm just saying that like, I feel like they kind of need to get that off, and now they can kind of focus on how they can kind of improve. So like, to kind of go off his point from earlier, there would have to be some type of a fall off, just to kind of like reset, kind of plateau
They
a
have
bit,
to reset it.
and then push it forward in a certain way, because that's what we've seen them do consistently anyway. But it's just a matter of like, we've kind of been wowed time and time again.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like, what more can you really do?
Because our expectations are so.
But you have with all these characters that you can bring in, you have the ability to wow people.
Of course.
You will always have that. Like if you don't put in the time into these characters, you're not gonna wow anybody.
Yeah, and I feel like there's gonna be like some type of tie-in, or at least it would make sense to me if they were to tie in like Jean and like Madam Web, for instance. They were to have some type of like cosmic battle of like time and present and like future and past and like all type of thing. Maybe something like that, or like
you'll never know what they can do, but all I know is that the materials in the comics, not saying that you gotta copy exactly word for word, bar for bar, but you have the opportunity to put things together. The way they put Madam Web together, the hell was that?
Well, didn't the Sony directors didn't even read the comics? They just did their whole.
That's another point that I've made earlier, prior, especially in the group chat, because all the movies that they put out recently, none of the writers, regardless if what Jackson said is true or not, none of them watched the material or read the source material.
I mean, the MCU director.
Some movies did good. Thor is an example. Thor Ragnarok, as weird as it turned out.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder is controversial, but yeah.
But for Ragnarok, the way it came out good. But they still never stick to the source material, and that's still the most important part for your movie.
What did we use source material?
For Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah, they did. What source material did they miss out?
For Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, what did they miss out?
How he was supposed to be powered up in the comics versus how he powered up in the movie is completely different. No?
Yeah, but they remember, like I said earlier, they have to make it realistic. They have to.
I understand that, but like
they
Thor has already been nerfed to the point where people he's a comic relief character.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And they saw
you have free range to power this guy up however you want.
Yeah.
But the way they went about it, a lot of people are not a fan of that.
Yeah, but they gave him the power up when he fought Hela at the end.
Not the way people wanted it to go.
Of course not. But again, they had to make it more realistic.
But that's what I'm saying. Ragnarok is a one-off because it actually did good because they still put time into it.
Yeah, and the directors, the MCU directors, they read the comics. Because Kevin Feige actually, like, if you don't read the comics and you're directing the movie and you come up with a shit script, Kevin Feige will fire your ass.
Here's the thing. He'll read it, but the people working on it are not.
No, and they'll get fired.
But if you, okay, that's great, but you don't understand, like, it hasn't been showed that people getting fired after a movie's been put out, after the couple movies that they put out. But my point is like, if you want your team to all be on the same page, they need to read the same pages.
Yeah.
And they're not.
That is true, because like it makes sense to have like some people who may not know like the story as a whole.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be a majority.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For that many people to not know like what exactly the storyline is, to then have a better idea of how to pivot, to kind of make those changes from like, this is how it was in the comics in terms of what it is to be now for in the movies. There could have been like a middle ground where they still could have like
But
had an area.
The thing is Kevin Feige also talked about this too. He said before, he said he'll like take inspiration from the comics, but he likes to do stuff in his own creative way, which is fine, to be honest, because it's like the comics we have the comics. If we want to follow the comics, we'll read the comics. But if the director wants to do his own twist to it and do that stuff, it's fine. I mean, it's worked so far. It's worked. So it's like I'm not complaining. I just know that right now the MCU is down because they're adding new characters in, and they're bringing a new fan base.
They're not really they're creating a new fan base.
Well, creating a new fan base, yeah.
They're bringing in an old fan base.
Old fan base,
now,
yeah.
they're trying to bring in Blade, but I'm still worried about Blade.
That should be interesting.
The way the way I heard the story was supposed to go would have been an embarrassment to Blade.
It's because we're forgetting about Disney too. Because even though the MCU is running it, Disney does have a say. Because Disney, I think Disney owns MCU now. I think.
I know.
Yeah.
But Disney is another one.
Yeah.
That's apart from Sony. That's filling it with the things people really don't care about.
Yeah.
They don't. I don't understand why they run away from it. Why they don't want to admit it, but people don't care about those things
Because Disney
that they put in there.
Disney knows
Because that's what turns people away from the box office.
You know they don't. I think didn't Disney just buy One Piece?
That's beyond me.
So they bought One Piece.
Here's why I'm fine with that.
Didn't Netflix do that?
No, Netflix bought One Piece, and I think Disney bought it too. Yeah.
If that's true, here's why I'm fine with that. In One Piece is really the ultimate anime where you can actually bring in those kind of things, and it could work.
Fair enough.
Because if you follow One Piece, there's a lot of unique, creative, weird characters in One Piece.
Yeah.
Look at our world today. There's a bunch of unique individuals that just,
Yeah, but take the
that you can put in
But
there.
now Disney's gonna be in charge of the animation for One Piece.
Well,
Animation is a big thing, a part of anime too.
I know, but I'm always worried when Disney gets a product. But you have to see if they can still stick to like what they have, right? What they have set. Because the animation, or not animation, but like the CGI and everything that they put in One Piece, really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. I was actually blown away of how well One Piece looked.
Yeah, because Netflix does
Netflix put in the work.
They do their thing sometimes, but Disney, like, what I'm really impressed with, I seen the trailer for, we forgot to introduce ourselves. Sorry, audience. This is another Match My Energy podcast. We got Capers E. Blaze.
Rayshawn J, I'm tired of shit.
You tired, bro? I'm tired too. I'm ready.
But yeah, no, I was super hyped about the X-Men trailer. They remade the X-Men 1997 into more of a newer animation, and it's coming on March 20th. Oh, on Disney. I'm so excited. I seen the trailer. That shit goes hard. Like they had the animation is up. As an anime person myself, a big one, the animation tier is up. Like,
Why'd they fire their writer?
For what?
X-Men 97.
Why did Disney fire them?
Yeah.
Probably because he didn't agree with it. I don't know. I don't know why they fired him. I actually don't know.
Well, the story that they made up is that he had a OnlyFans.
So what?
Pay attention. The story that they made up.
Yeah.
There's something behind that. But they don't want to say. So I'm kind of worried now for X-Men 97.
Yeah, but if he has an OF, loud him out.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not really, I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about why he's fired, because there's really a true reason to this.
Well, how do you know the true reason? Did you look up the man's thing or like?
I'm not looking up nothing. I'm not looking up nothing. Dog, when I heard he got fired because of that, I'm like, there's something more here.
Well, it also could,
Probably, yeah.
Let's keep it bad. Like,
it also could be because they don't need him. That could all because here's the thing, because the X-Men 1997 has already been like even the old series is still on Disney Plus, so they don't really need him because they're not changing the story. They're only changing a bit.
it's a whole new. It's a continuation to the past.
Yeah, no.
Meaning that everything's new. Meaning that they need him.
No, the only new stuff is when they're combining it with the MCU now.
But they're not redoing X-Men. It's a new story.
Not X-Men 97.
Yes. Didn't you not see the trailer?
I
And
did
you
see the
literally
trailer.
sat here talking about you see the trailer.
I did see the trailer. It's not.
Professor X is dead, and then Magneto takes over the school.
Yeah.
That's a new story.
Raw.
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah, it's a new story that they're doing. It's
Yes.
not an old story.
Well, actually, it is from the comics perspective.
How is it old? They're continuing what they did from the past.
Yeah, in the comics. Yeah, he died too.
Okay,
He's still alive.
okay,
He's
that's
still-
great. Comics is cool. You still gotta write something new. You can't, like I said, you can't take from the comics. So you have to create something new.
So in the comics, was the story that's happening now, was that the same story that was from the comics?
Yeah.
Or was it like...
Me personally, I don't know. He's the one to ask.
X-Men.
I'm actually so serious because I don't know nothing.
So in the comics then, so Magneto takes over the school.
Yeah, there's been multiple versions of.
This guy's actually watched the trailer.
Is that what happens? Like, does Magneto take over the school in the comics?
He does, and in one version he does.
Regardless of version or not, he takes over, and that's the version that they're going with. So, what are we talking about here? Mr. Marvel fan?
I just watch the shit and enjoy it.
You see what I'm saying? But like, yo, like I actually go and I read deeper into these things, so I want to see how these things are put together, right? And then when I started to learn what's going on behind scenes, I'm like, why are they doing this? Why are they putting this here just when you could have just done this?
True.
And then now my mind's all up in the business of like, okay,
Yeah, they are. Wait, they said. Okay, what? No, okay. I'm literally like I've seen this trailer. It's literally the old. It's literally the old. They just added a few little different new stuff. I don't.
the animation is
I
from
know
the original.
No, this animation go hard. Oh my god.
This guy's boosting a little bit too much.
I'm boosting. Hold on. Did you see the original X-Men?
Yeah,
But
but
no.
you have to look at how much shit's different now. Obviously, it's gonna be better.
Yeah, they were definitely gonna upgrade it.
It's just a remastered video game.
Yeah.
Like,
But and
Real shit.
that's all it is.
It makes sense. It makes sense why. Also too, because the X-Men comics is different from the '97. But yes, what happened was because they're going off of when Jean Grey killed Xavier, which was from the movies. Which she put that nigga in the dirt. Put him in the dirt. R.I.P. My guy Charles Xavier. R.I.P. But they put him in the dirt.
Guy's getting a little bit too happy from. All I know is that it's a new story. Facts. Okay? It's not an old story that they're redoing. If it was, they would. Okay.
It's a mixture of the old story because look, they're showing the Sentinels. The Sentinels, however, they're in the old story on the old the Sentinels. Yeah,
What?
the Sentinels.
I know what you're talking about. I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's a new story, but you're talking about old characters.
No, they're using the old. They're still using the material from the old X-Men, like the Sentinels.
To create a new story.
I know, but it's not new. More continuing on.
But okay, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's still new for majority of people watching it.
Fair enough.
It's
Fair
continued for you.
Fair enough.
For
That's true.
me, it's
Yeah.
new. For
Yeah.
him, it's new.
Fair point.
Okay, so
Fair point. Fair point.
what are we talking about here, bro?
Fair point.
Let's just stay on the same page.
Fair point. Yeah.
So it's a new story that they are doing
Yeah.
for the new audience.
Yeah.
Which is why I wonder why they fired the writer. Because they need him, right? Now you're on the page I'm on. Because if you're making a new story, then you fire your writer like a couple weeks before the thing come out. What did he really do? Which of course I'm throwing up there. I don't want to answer. Because we can't really answer this.
Well, or
But I'm
maybe,
just throwing it up
maybe
there.
it could have been made already, and they just didn't. Like,
Regardless, you know there's going to be a second season.
Yeah.
What did he do?
popping, the little cosplay thing. They said, "No, I can't have that."
But this is what I pay attention to. I pay attention to behind the scenes.
What if he was leaking?
Pay attention.
Wow.
You think you're funny, eh? You think you're funny, eh?
You say it's your words, man. I'm just,
Yeah, but
I think
you like to twist words.
I don't like twisting.
All right then, so don't do that.
maybe he's leaking out. Maybe he's leaking.
What?
Maybe
I'm not saying he's leaking out.
He's leaking. It's crazy.
No, like leaking information for like new stuff coming out on the.
But everyone,
I like you thinking out y'all holding up a sign.
Okay, OnlyFans is not just used for the sexual purposes.
Oh no, he's gay too.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a great. He's a gay.
Then I really don't know why he fired.
This is what I'm saying.
That changed the whole analogy for me.
He's a gay black writer that got fired from a Disney product. What did he do?
Shoot, I mean,
He was faking being gay, so he can infiltrate the HQ thing, and then find out their secrets in that, and then. You know what I'm saying? He found out enough to like not get him off, but like enough to get him away.
Because
you feel me? No, I'm just saying. No, I do not.
Because Disney approves of botomanism.
What? LGBTQIA plus community.
Yeah. That community, Disney Plus approves of them. So, I mean, shoot, for him to be that and get fired, for him to be.
Now you're starting to understand what page I'm on now. What?
I'm telling you, man, he's undercover.
He's undercover.
He's looking for some information.
Undercover brother.
Undercover is crazy.
The Black Panther movie though, I really want to revisit that again because I hate that shit.
Which one? One or two?
Two.
Why do you hate two?
Because it's just the way it turned out. It
was one of those stories.
Nah, but see, me and Randy, when we seen it, we talked about this after. The reason why we didn't like it was because there's no way you're making T'Challa's sister be able to go toe to toe with Namor. There's no way. That's the big thing for me. I said, "There's
why though? Like, she has the smarts. She has the capability. She's just someone who needs to learn how to be like a leader, how to be a hero.
But that's here,
and then just take the training.
I don't think you understand who Namor is. I don't think you understand. Namor is one of the first mutants. First of all, that's one. Two, he bodied the Hulk. He goes toe to toe with Thor easily in the comics, and done beat Thor on occasions. He's done beaten the Hulk too on occasions. Mm-hmm. They made T'Challa's sister almost basically beat him in the end. That was crazy. I said, whoa.
Yeah, because like there has to be some type of continuation. Like, imagine, like, there's always a way to beat somebody. You know what I mean? And at that fight, I don't fully remember it, but like I know that like the fight was kind of crazy, and like typically he should have won, but at the end of the day, how the story's gonna go, there has to be a continuation of the story. We have to figure out who the Black Panther is gonna become now. So like that story still has to be told. If my dude is really that big and powerful, he would just off there one time and done.
Yeah.
So like for storyline and plot, they have to go that way.
Because the only person that really hanged with him when he was out of the water was T'Challa. Hanged with him for a bit, but even T'Challa he had to upgrade his suit to even contend with
that comes into my point now. Because my point is, why couldn't they just recasted T'Challa? No. Chadwick Boseman said recast T'Challa. They did not.
No.
Yeah, like you could recast it, but then,
easily.
Like, I feel like it
and I know exactly who they can recast it with.
Sure, but like I feel like that kind of just waters it down.
It waters it down.
You know what I mean?
Everybody fell in love with Chadwick.
Yeah, and like to kind of continue on that love, it's like give it to somebody new and pretend like this is a new thing, or pass it down through a family line, and then there's still more of a connectivity to it.
But look at what the story came out to be. I understand, like, people fell in love with him now, but now that you have the second movie done, they said they're going to do a third, which I was surprised because I thought they were going to end it. Personally, that's me personally. But if they're gonna do a third now, they're gonna need to bring in a male Black Panther. Now.
When did they say that? They said they're gonna do a third.
They actually, a couple. I think they said last month that they said they're gonna do a third.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to bring in a male Black Panther now because the sister can't continue it. Because
Why do you say that?
Because the
Why are you so
situation.
against women?
I'm not against women. The thing is, the situation. The situation that's happening. Relax. Relax. I'm not against women, but you need to understand with the situation that's about to happen. Mind you, the queen could have easily dealt with what's coming up. But what's coming up now for the sister to deal with?
Oh, they haven't yet confirmed. They haven't yet officially confirmed Black Panther 3. They said it was in talks, but it's not confirmed.
Well, talks or not, you know they're gonna have to do a third.
But
You have to. After a show like that, you have to.
You have to. You can't just end it like that.
Yeah.
why?
You can't end the
Like
story
you
like
could
that.
if you really just want to move on from it, but like there's still a
They-
lot more
they-
kind of covered
no,
in the
they-
third.
Yeah, that's what. Here's the thing with what they're gonna plan for the future. You can't end the story
No,
there.
they have. The reason why I disagree and I say they have to end it is because if they're gonna start the whole Battle Worlds,
Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, yes, if they're gonna start all that, they have to end it so they could use a different variation of the Black Panther.
But the way
But
they
you don't have to use a different variation. You can still use the same one.
But the Black Panther from the first movie died.
here's the thing,
Right. So how they gonna use that same? They can't use that same. It has to be.
But there's a
different-
new Black Panther.
So here, watch this
Yeah.
now. Watch this now. So
Mhm.
from what I've watched on YouTube, like the whole Secret Wars thing, there's going to be a bunch of like different variations.
Yeah.
So it's like a multiverse thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Meaning
It's the
that
next big
they
thing.
meaning that they can bring in another male character.
Yeah, they are. They're gonna bring in the White Wolf. They're not gonna bring in Black Panther. They're gonna bring in the White Wolf.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something right now. From what I've watched about the White Wolf, if they bring him in, you're gonna ruin the community.
Why would it?
You're gonna ruin the culture. I ain't gonna hold you.
Why would it ruin the community? Why? It ties in directly to the comics.
Hey, you can kind of figure out the White Wolf is a white guy.
Okay, but they can have a black person play it. The White Wolf. Like it doesn't.
If they're gonna do what they did in the comics, you go frig up the community, cause nobody's gonna like that. Cause you need to understand. I understand that Marvel fans only see Black Panther as just a Marvel character, but the people that came in and made that movie $1 billion, people see the Black Panther as an actual black figure people can come behind and actually support. That's why everyone loved Chadwick Boseman.
Yes, but
Now, if you go ahead and do some bullshit like that, ain't nobody gonna see no movie about no White Wolf.
didn't they bring Captain America to Wakanda? I think, and people were fine with it, with him actually.
Because the Black Panther was still there.
Yeah, but they made Steve Rogers look like he had more.
No, he didn't.
Do you not see the beginning of the fight how fast Steve Rogers was running compared to Black Panthers?
They were at the same speed.
No, you need to watch that scene over again. No, Steve Rogers was significantly faster.
No,
than
he wasn't.
I don't think you watched the same movie. I don't think you watched the same movie.
Bro, it's already been established that they both run the same
They
speed.
jumped at the same time, but no, Steve Rogers was ahead of him.
You're talking about a jump from a man with a super soldier serum and a jump from a man that literally has the power of a Black Panther on top of that with super strength and everything
And
else.
he was not. Steve Rogers was out. Steve Rogers was running faster than him. But anyways, my point being was that people were okay.
The man didn't even catch up to him in fucking Civil War. What are we talking about?
All I know is that
What are we talking about?
he did. Wait, what? What do you mean?
He only catched up to him when he stopped running. What are you talking about? The highway scene in the tunnel?
I haven't seen was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't seen was crazy, but
When you see Black Panther sprinting from, what are you talking
of
about?
course, because the suit.
Yeah, my nigga, they the same speed.
Debatable. I debate on that. But anyways,
How are you gonna?
point is,
As a black man, debating that is crazy. I don't give a shit.
Point is that I'm making is that people are okay with a white person being in Wakanda and having a major part.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about from the movie. I'm talking about from us. People from culture.
Yes, I know.
People from
And I'm
community.
saying the people from the culture didn't have a problem with Steve Rogers having a big.
But that's
part
not
in
my
Wakanda.
point.
My point. You said White Wolf is played by a white guy. It's gonna ruin the culture. If people were okay with Steve
Yes,
Rogers,
because White Wolf is gonna lead Wakanda.
yes, that's how it happens in the comics. Yes, yes, yes.
No. Sit back. You use your brain for a second. Use your brain for a second.
Bro.
in an African continent.
So this is coming from the guy that talked about source material. Okay. Hey, so take source material. No, you brought up source material earlier, did you not?
Listen,
I said sit back.
ultimately
As when they had a black man running an African continent, you bring in White Wolf to run the continent now.
Yeah, that's not gonna sit well, man. Like
That's what I'm saying.
For him to like, for him to assist, that's one thing.
Yes.
For him to run the show,
The whole
it's
thing.
not.
Okay,
retarded?
okay.
Nah.
So let me get this straight. Source material doesn't matter when it comes to black people.
You already know that.
Hey, that's what I. That's
But
what
you
I,
already
that's what I
know
get
that
into.
they don't always follow the source material. So what are you talking about source material for now?
Because that's one of the main points you brought up. You brought up source material. You're like, oh, they're doing the movies with source material. So if they're gonna stick to source material,
What you need to understand is that you need to. I understand what you're saying, but you also need to understand is that when it comes to different characters, you gotta choose carefully how you use your source material. So don't come to me about no source material on what I said, because all the time when you see it, source material varies from movie to movie, from character to character. Not every character is perfect, but at the same time, when it comes to the black characters, you need to handle them with a little bit more care. Because black people won't actually support that character if you do it right.
So if there's so if we're taking source material, then who they gonna cast? Somebody random? No one's gonna watch it. If they cast a new Black Panther, nobody's gonna watch it.
I ain't going. I am not even. Listen, hold on.
Like,
It won't.
they will, but like if they want to move things a bit forward, because obviously it's going to be a different like amount of a fall off, because now you're using T'Challa's sister as opposed to actually like Chadwick.
And she put the mantle down in the second
That's
one.
fine, but like that's typically how certain stories will go. Eventually, she may be called to pick it back up again. But if anything, if they do go that route, what I feel like would be cool if like they do add the White Wolf in, but like to help out kind of thing. Let him have his like explain his kind of side of the story a bit, whatever, and then figure out a way for him to come by on a Steve Rogers team. That way they can kind of help out, and then he'll have his own sanction, his own faction, whatever. Rooted around there, because like if the story from back in the day does tie into like him leading and everything like that, that's fine. But like they'll have to change it up a bit to kind of make it more sense.
Because here's the thing, for it to make sense with the source material for Black Panther in general, White Wolf, you have to look at his background. White Wolf is an adopted son that the Wakandans adopted. So T'Challa's family specifically adopted him as a baby, right? So White Wolf grew up with Black Panther as brothers. So it's like whether he's white or black, it makes sense. If for the Black Panther is dead, it makes sense for the White Wolf to take over. It
would make sense.
It just makes
yes,
sense.
like in terms of like following the story directly.
Yeah.
But that's not what they do. You know what I mean? So like there's and that's like definitely not gonna sit well with the black community whatsoever. So that's gonna be a very pressing issue. Like you could explain the backstory, yes, and be like, okay, yeah, whatever. But ultimately, the majority of people don't give a fuck about the comic world, so they just know what the story is now, and they're following that. That's the people that are getting brought in right now.
So it's gonna be a lose-lose situation for the Black Panther movie then. Either way, because if they cast somebody else to play Black Panther, and the people
know exactly who they can cast.
But everybody, like I said, everybody found that was Chad Bowling,
Right.
and they were kind of skeptical on the sister taking over, kind of, because they weren't even really feeling that, to be honest, as much. So if they cast somebody different to play the Black Panther, it's not going to work. The only point
It will.
It's
It
gonna work
a
better
high
than
chance of
having
it
White
working.
Wolf run the thing.
But who they gonna cast and what type?
Regardless of who
Can I
they
say
cast,
who?
they'll. But here's the thing, but like regardless of who they cast, at the end of the day, it's gonna sit way better than it is for White Wolf.
But it's gonna leave more people more confused.
Can I give an answer?
That's fine, but at the end of the day, all these movies leave them confused.
Can
They don't follow the
I
source
give my
material.
answer, please? You watch Black Adam?
Yeah.
Hawkman.
I know that's what you're gonna say. Honestly, I see it, but I don't really.
Bro, when you think about it though, when you watch Black Black Adam and you see the characters, I watched a clip on YouTube, right? They put Hawkman's character and Black Panther's character side by side. They did the exact same shit from their movies. From Hawkman jumping from his from the plane to the ground and then fly off, whatever.
Yeah.
Same thing Chadwick done.
But they already introduced.
And then the suit that the man was wearing, African textiles on it, everything.
I hear that.
But they already introduced T'Challa Jr. as Prince. That they can't. That's what I'm saying. They cannot.
Yes, they can, because they can bring in someone else still, like as a placeholder. Just like just like M'Baku. M'Baku's a placeholder because he's clearly king right now.
Yes, he's king. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's a placeholder, but twos, you can bring in someone else too, a distant relative from somewhere.
But they're saying, according to the comics, there is no relative from anywhere. The only next relative is the White Wolf.
I'm just saying.
That's
great.
Again,
that's the point that I
remember, they don't follow the comics to a T.
Exactly.
It's more of just like something to pull from every now and again.
I know.
And if the Secret Wars thing is going to be a multiverse theory thing anyway,
he's going to come in regardless.
No whatsoever. You can mention it. He can say, "Oh, I'm from Earth 76, whatever. We're on Earth 54." And then this is where Earth 54 is where the real comic will come into play.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this guy can just come by and say, "Okay, this is what was going on my planet. How it was different from how you guys are doing." So on and so forth. So at the end of the day,
no problem.
that's
in that same world,
yeah,
T'Challa's sister could be the one that's actually the king or the queen or whatever, who's the real Black Panther. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
T'Challa could still be alive, whatever. Like there's all different type of ways to go
yeah,
exactly.
They're different. But I'm just saying, because they introduced T'Challa Jr. as the new Prince of Wakanda as the baby, like at the end of Black Panther 2. They're to cast an older individual as the new Black Panther from the sister. It's not gonna work because they already introduced who's the next. Kid.
It'll still work.
The thing is, you need to understand. You're saying it from a fan perspective. From your fan perspective, it won't work. But you need to understand.
Even from the black hole.
No. Let me finish. You need to understand from the fan perspective. You guys are the majority, the minority, right?
Majority.
No, you're not. You guys do not make the money for these movies. It's random people that come in interested, making these movies money. You guys will never make that kind of. You will never make $1 billion for a Marvel movie, no matter how many times you watch it.
We're in a new generation as well. These people are not looking. Like the majority of them are not looking.
They're not paying attention to these things, bro. Y'all know the answers. That's great, but you need to understand. There's people out there that either don't care or not gonna look for it. Or they're just gonna see the movie for the sake of seeing something new.
In case in point, like look at it like this: with the new Spider-Man, right? Like Tom Holland and shit.
Yeah.
You never seen Uncle Ben, not one time.
Yeah, because
you feel what I'm saying? So it's like they can play around with the story. Is the point I'm making?
Exactly, and that's
so it doesn't
exactly
have to be exactly how T'Challa Jr. is there, whatever. Cool.
Well, fun fact is the Tom Holland story is the actual story, the actual Spider-Man from the comics.
Regardless, there's no Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
So my point is, they can play around with the story so long as they want. And if they're moving into a multiverse theoried world, literally anything's possible.
And think about it. You just said like the Tom Holland story is the actual story.
It's the actual.
Yeah, that's great. But look what they did with the other two movies, and even the first one. Uncle Ben is not really in the story, but they made Uncle Ben such an important character.
Mm-hmm.
That speaks to his point.
Yeah. But,
so what are you talking about?
Uncle Ben and Aunt May, it's just literally they're different universes. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Like the multiverse, we can bring somebody else in. But I'm saying for this universe, for the black culture,
you can do anything.
But even in this universe, it's still the same thing. Because there's obviously not as many possibilities as a multiverse as a multiverse like world. But at the same ways, like with what we have, there's still areas to kind of either have placeholders or to actually have this be like a Karate Kid movie type shit, like train this guy.
Yeah.
She's the one that's been holding it down for X amount of time. He's now of age to really start doing his thing. Yeah. She's gonna train him and blah blah blah.
I guess a scenario that I'll bring in, or like something to compare, would be Thor. It's like we replace Thor with Beta Ray Bill. That's the exact correlation that we're giving here. If we replace Thor with Beta Ray Bill, Beta Ray Bill is from the comics. And he's from a whole different planet. He's not Asgardian. If they were to replace Thor as Beta Ray Bill, it would flop. It would go down. Whether he's the best.
But you know exactly why.
Why? Because
he's strictly a CGI character.
No, but that's not the point that I'm making.
But that's the point I'm making.
Yeah, but see who? Beta Ray Bill?
Yeah.
He wasn't. He was just the head was just there. Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill is a fucking horse face motherfucker.
Yeah.
He literally has a horse face.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be a CGI character that's going to take over the lead role for Thor. Meaning that they're going to put in more money, making sure this guy looks good.
Yeah.
to replace Thor instead of just have Thor.
But you know what's crazy thing is? It's better rated.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Your story, great, cool.
I'm just
Money.
trying to figure out
Yeah.
like, who is this horse-looking.
Oh,
like,
I can show him.
Literally think.
No, I'm good. I'm deceived.
Think Thor with all like the headpiece and all like the cape and everything, but the face is of a horse.
I can vividly picture it.
All right.
It's just like why I'm not looking, but like, the point is, like it wouldn't make sense to kind of do that.
Why wouldn't that make sense?
You just need to understand it from a regular fan, like not your kind of fan, but someone that's just naturally going to see the movie.
Yeah.
Why they change Thor?
Yeah, but they're gonna say why they changed Black Panther. They didn't want another child.
Black Panther literally died in real life.
I know.
They didn't have a choice but to.
Yes.
I don't know, but I said when he died, the community did not want another Black Panther to be played as child role.
No, the community was conflicted. It was literally split 50-50. One side didn't want him to be replaced. The other side wanted him desperately to be replaced because they wanted another figure that they can stand behind.
So is that other side the majority or majority?
It's a 50-50 split. It can literally go either way. Like, let's keep it up. And to be honest,
too much uncertainty.
to be honest, now that they did everything, and yeah, T'Challa Jr. there, cool. He's a youth, fam.
I know.
You can literally bring in someone, and keep in mind, it's been announced, right? Meaning that it's probably going to fall between the Secret Wars, like, kind of thing already running at the time. They're not going to greenlight it right away and say, oh, we're going to put it out next year. This is probably going to come out after Secret Wars, meaning that they can actually bring in the person I said to bring in. Let's keep it a man. He can literally play Black Panther, bro. He can literally play.
Here's my question, because really could he though? Because not from an acting standpoint, in terms of like it making sense. Because he was playing in a DC movie and now he's in Marvel.
You're always gonna have people from DC and Marvel crossing over, doing a different role. Yeah. Well, you already said Henry Cavill's already confirmed for Wolverine. He's gonna be a variant.
Yeah,
The man was Superman.
I don't know why. I get it.
Variant though.
Variant.
He's a variation of the character.
Yeah, I
just don't know.
I don't approve. I can't.
And
get
keep in
behind
mind,
that.
it's
I don't know if he's really gonna be in it. I don't know.
I can't get.
All
behind
I'm
it.
saying is
I can't
that
get
it's
behind
been okay. That's one of the rumors. The other rumors for Henry Cavill playing a character was either Cyclops.
No, I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't
Actually,
see
a
it.
lot of people. He's actually been like they actually fan casted him as Cyclops.
I can't see him as Cyclops.
See, to an extent.
That's
I can't see
great.
him as Cyclops.
So I have to slim down a bit though.
Definitely slim down, cause no Henry, cause
Well,
Superman,
it depends.
Like a bit, not too much.
No,
but
exactly,
like
because like in the comics, like Cyclops is still pretty jacked in the comics, right?
yeah, he's more lean, but like he's not.
And then
he's
like
not,
I'm sure people will be like, if there really is like him being casted, I'm sure people will be calm because like it is just a movie anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
And
it's like,
on top of that, they're also saying like he could do Doctor Doom, but they actually wanted him to be Captain Britain.
Yeah, no, I thought that's what he's gonna be. No, that's what he's gonna be, Captain Britain.
No, it's not confirmed. They confirmed Wolverine. They didn't confirm Captain Britain. People wanted Captain Britain.
he'd be a decent Wolverine though. I can see it.
Yeah. The only thing people don't like about him being Wolverine is the height, because Wolverine in the comics is short.
Yeah, he's short.
Is it?
Yeah.
How tall is Wolverine versus Henry?
I don't know. That's you. That's a you question. This is from the videos I watch.
Wolverine is like 5 foot.
I heard it was supposed to be like 5'6", something like that. He's short. So
Like if I'm thinking from like the comics and like the animation and everything like that, he does seem like relatively average. I'd say maybe like 5'8".
Oh, he's 6'3" in the comic book.
Wolverine?
The comic book height of Wolverine is 5'3".
Ron, boy, short.
Yeah.
He's
No, man.
Because when you think about it, like it's kind of confusing, right? Because when you see Wolverine in live action, it's played by
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman,
Hugh Jackman's
right?
6'3".
And Hugh Jackman is tall,
Yeah, that's fine. But
right?
like,
So people get confused, you
But
know?
people-
Like,
in the comics.
People grew with Hugh Jackman, so it's just
Exactly.
No, yeah, that's fine.
People are
But, like,
used to
I'm
Hugh
saying,
Jackman.
like, in the comics, like, even from watching, like, the shows and stuff, he didn't seem like he was that short or anything.
Yeah.
And then even, like, certain video games and shit, he didn't seem
You
like
gotta
he
keep
was
in mind,
short.
like that one, the X-Men show, the Wolverine show on
Yeah.
Teletoon.
Yeah.
That was the height was wrong too, because they drew him taller in the show. Cause I think I know what show you're talking about, the X-Men Evolution show or something that used to come on Teletoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that show, like he was taller, right?
1.85 meters is how much? That's
Close to 6 foot. I don't think 185 is 6 foot, or 183 is 6 foot.
6 feet. Oh, so it might work because Henry Cavill is apparently shorter than Hugh Jackman.
Which is crazy. I swear, like looking at Superman, I was like the movie theaters and shit. I swear that nigga was like 6'5" or some shit. But I ain't gonna lie.
That's crazy. That's the first time I know. I didn't know that he was actually 5'3" in the comics.
Say you got hope a lot.
I
mean, you could be Wolverine.
Hey, there's a reason why I found the. It hurts because I want to be Wolverine at one time.
That's crazy.
Wolverine was my favorite character. So who is you guys? If you guys ask, who is your favorite?
Black Panther, Spider-Man.
Stop! Because Black Panther no. See, I gotta say, you saying Black Panther? No.
Why?
No. I'm talking about don't be over before Black Panther came out. You're gonna say Black Panther?
Yes.
Lies. He doesn't.
Black Panther
he's
But
lying.
you can say that though.
No, but because he doesn't read the comics. And
Yeah, but I watched the shows on Teletoon.
I don't watch I don't read the like I used to read the comics.
Even like the Marvel movies, like the Marvel cartoon movies when they bring in the Black Panther.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, what are we talking about?
Fair enough.
We're not the same age.
I like that song.
I swear Black Panther had its own show and shit before too. No?
No.
No. I don't think so. He was featured in like cartoons. That's when I started. That's when I started like.
You know what's gonna happen? You know why I say that they're not gonna do another Black Panther? Here's why.
I'm not surprised if they don't.
Here's why they're not gonna do another Black Panther, because they're gonna introduce Prince T'Challa, a part of the new Avengers.
Do you mean the Young Avengers?
The Young Avengers, my bad.
And I don't even think that's gonna happen either.
I think that's gonna happen.
He's still too young. They have to age him.
But even inside the comics.
Yeah, the comics and the movie, like the cartoon movie.
But even in the comics, T'Challa is the youngest out of the team.
That's great.
Like super young. He's like what? He's like how old? He's like I think it was like either 8 or 10 years old, maybe less.
Okay.
And Prince T'Challa is like what? Like he's like what? Like 2, 3.
Okay, but that's great and all, but you need to understand, we're not seeing it from a comic book standpoint. The child that they bring in at the end of the movie
Not talking about that
is
child.
young as shit.
The child's like what? 2. No, he was like what?
6 or 7.
6. Exactly.
And you want to throw him into the fight of his life.
I'm saying by the time that they're gonna start they would start the new the Young Avengers, it'd be during.
That's if they still continue with that though.
They're going to during Civil War. I mean no, during Secret Wars.
Maybe.
Because all the main heroes are gonna be taking the battle worlds. So who's gonna protect Earth? The Young Avengers. And it ties in to again the comics. So like hey.
That's a decent theory.
You need to understand.
The main point is that they don't always fully follow the comics.
Yeah, like.
But they are creating the Young Avengers.
But my God, what you need to understand is that every Marvel movie is gonna follow the comics. It's just not gonna follow the comics fully.
Yeah, 100%.
So what are you talking about? Oh, they're gonna follow the comics. They already do.
Some of them.
They just don't follow it the way you don't like it.
Because I mean, again, you said that the Tom Holland story is the original one, right?
Is the original
That's from
one.
the comics.
That's
right?
from the comics. Yeah. True.
I don't know. It's all speculation.
But why'd you say Spider-Man though? Is your favorite? Like
It's my favorite.
It's
from the beginning.
Spider-Man, bro. Who doesn't love Spider-Man?
I know. I was curious to ask them like why. Yeah, this is curious.
Black Panther is like.
Okay, but why is your Black Panther? Out of all the other characters, why is your Black Panther?
Black Panther, like he's literally like a black version of like Batman, bro.
Basically,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
And I don't like Batman that much. I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm
I'm not a Batman fan.
Batman.
He's cool as shit, but I'm just not a fan.
See,
but Black Panther is cool as shit, and I'm a fan. Okay.
See, my problem with Batman is that they overhype that nigga.
How?
Well, I understand what he's saying because like all you see is Batman. Right?
No, come on, man.
He's marketable at the same time, but like some people get tired from over marketing of characters.
Like let's be honest here. Are we really gonna sit here and say that Batman with prep time could be Superman? Stop it. Stop! No.
They already proved this.
Listen, I don't care what you say about that movie. That movie
Not even in the movie, in the comics too.
Yeah, in the comics he does have a plan to beat Superman, but it's cool to have
He
a
has
plan.
a plan to beat everyone,
Of
including
course.
himself.
100%. You may have a plan to do that, but it's the fact of enacting it. All it takes is for Superman to one-punch Batman.
Yeah, but
And-
But Superman would never do that.
Superman
Of
doesn't,
course he would never do that,
but if Superman isn't in a position to be able to do that, like Batman versus Superman,
but Superman was holding back.
that's great.
But if
Kryptonite can kill Superman.
yeah, of course he can.
Batman wasn't holding back.
Batman, but that's it. Batman was not holding back. Superman was though.
The man put on a battle armor to beat the man's ass with
And
kryptonite.
you remember, and he's beating. I remember what happened. Superman stood there. He's taking punches. He's like, it stopped hurting at one point. He had to literally gas him with the kryptonite to make him weak.
But that's my point.
But
He can be killed.
Yeah.
yeah, no. I'm not saying he can't be killed for sure. But what I'm saying is that, like, realistically, if we're using a going all out Superman versus going an all out Batman,
Superman will lose.
no.
If Superman's going all out,
Yes,
he's
and
not thinking about the kryptonite enough.
he just could speed blitz Batman. Batman's not faster than Superman.
The kryptonite is what the issue is.
Yeah, but
so if Batman, being the world's greatest detective, being as smart as he is,
Mhm.
understands that I, a human being, could never on my best day be faster than Superman, what's the next best thing to do? Make sure that as soon as he's in close proximity, the kryptonite takes effect.
Of course, very close. But remember, he has the X-ray vision. He can get him from a far distance.
That's fine.
He doesn't even have to be in proximity.
Superman is
That's
not that
fine,
smart.
but again, Batman's gonna have a plan.
Superman is not that smart to pull off.
He's not beating Batman.
Superman is not going to stand about 100 yards away and snipe him with heat vision. He is not doing that. He is not that guy.
That's why I said realistically, the arsenal that Superman has compared to Batman.
What arsenal? His muscles?
Freeze breath.
Oh, my
He's
fault.
an alien.
I know that's me. Freeze breath. He has super speed. He has heat vision. He has X-ray vision. And do you know why kryptonite is Superman's weakness? They actually inside the comics what he did was, or inside of the shows, he looked into the mirror. There's a part of his brain that has a kryptonite piece in it which makes him weak. But it's Superman in that the animated shows, Superman literally looked in the mirror. He did surgery with his own eyes. Actually, lasered it out, and he was no longer weak to kryptonite. Kryptonite had no effect. So all Superman has to do, and that's how it is in the comics. Like that's why he's weak to it. All he has to do is take that part out of his brain, that kryptonite out of his brain. That every I think Kryptonian has in their brain, and it's wrapped. It's wrapped. The only way to beat Superman would be to make it into a red sun. Only way. And how's Batman gonna do that? Come on now. Come on now. Come on now.
Like he doesn't have the Justice League as friends. Like he doesn't have resources.
So
and,
which
like, he's not a
Justice League
billionaire.
is gonna turn the sun red?
All he has to do is link Lex Luthor. You're forgetting he exists too, right?
Lex Luthor? Oh my god, let's not talk about it. Because Lex Luthor got pieced up by Superman. Easily.
Anybody would. Superman's a fucking alien on a different planet.
Facts.
The point is that if we need to create a red sun because kryptonite does not work, who would you call? Exactly.
It would have to be Darkseid. Darkseid. It needs some reality warping stuff, because nah.
Even him too. There's still possibilities. Like Superman can be killed. Bro.
Of course he can. Just not by Batman.
Yeah, it's been another episode of Match Magic Podcast. My name is Randy. Kasean, Rayshawn. All right.